Hello my dear students, hope you all are doing well, and the previous concepts of sets I think it's clear to you. In the previous class we discussed some word problems, just some real life applications related to the concept of sets. So today also we will do some more questions related to it. So shall we start? Okay. So already questions I send you through WhatsApp, so you can check the question. Okay. Here I am not going to write the question again. I will draw the diagram instead of writing the question there. So by reading the question, we will draw the diagram. Okay. So now just to check, here is the information in the question given. In a class of 35 students, 17 have taken mathematics, 10 have taken mathematics but not economics. So here we have two subjects, mathematics and economics. So two subjects we will consider as two sets. So according to the Venn diagram, the universal set is represented by rectangle and the remaining all subsets of the universal set are represented by circles. So here first circle we can take as subject maths and the second one as economics. So here the circles, so these regions are divided into some parts. So we can give some name, some alphabets we can give here. Suppose A, B and C I have given. Now here we can check, in a class of 35 students, 17 have taken mathematics. Mathematics denotes the first circle. And first circle is a combination of two regions, this one and this one. So this region I have denoted by small letter A. So 17 have taken mathematics. So what will come according to the information? Yes, A plus B is equal to 17. Now, next information, 10 have taken mathematics but not economics. What do you mean by that? 10 have taken mathematics but not economics. Yes, meaning they have taken only mathematics. Only mathematics represented by which region? Yes, it will be represented by the letter A, because here B represents the student which have taken both the subjects. So we don't want that, only mathematics. So how many students are there? 10. So we will write here A is equal to 10. Now what is given, just to check, first we have to find the number of students who have taken both mathematics and economics. Both mathematics and economics. So the region which is common to both the circles. So which region is common here? Yes. This area is common in both the circles and this region is called the intersection. The number of students who have taken both the subjects. So that is denoted by B here. So from this information we can calculate the value of B. Okay. So we can substitute here A is equal to 10. So 10 plus B is equal to 17. So from here what will come? B is equal to 17 minus 17 minus 10. So that will be equal to 7. So we got B is equal to 7. Now we can check what is the next information, next condition. Who have taken both mathematics and economics done, and the number of students who have taken economics but not mathematics. Economics but not mathematics. So this region is denoted, this region is represented by economics, the number of students who have taken economics. So economics is a combination of B and C. Value of B already we have calculated. Now we have to find the number of students who have taken only economics. Only economics, so no other subject, is represented by the letter C. So now we have to find out the value of C. So for that, how we can do? Yes, it is given in a class of 35 students and already information is given. Each student has taken either mathematics or economics or both. Out of 35 students, either they have taken maths or economics or both. Means no student is left. So total A plus B plus C is equal to 35 is given. A plus B plus C is equal to 35. B already we have calculated. Now C we have to calculate. So A plus B is equal to 17 is given. We can substitute the value here. In place of A plus B, we can write 17. So 17 plus C is equal to 35. So from here, what will be the value of C? 35 minus 17. So that will be equal to, yes, 18. So we got C is equal to 18. And C is the region which denotes the number of students who have taken only economics. So here is the answer of our two questions. First is 7 and second one is 18. So at last, write down the answer statement. What we will write? 7 students have taken both maths and economics, and 18 students have taken only economics. Clear? Okay. So we'll move to the next question. Next, all of you. In the next question, 3 subjects are there: maths, physics and chemistry. So we have to draw 3 sets. So whenever 3 sets are there, by using normal formula, it will be difficult for us to solve. So better you use a Venn diagram. Okay. So now we will read the question and we will draw a Venn diagram. In a survey of 25 students, it was found that, so first, survey of 25 students, total 25 students are there, and out of 25 students, we have 3 subjects here. So first we can draw circles to represent these 3 subjects. What are the 3 subjects we have? Maths. So this circle, I have taken this circle to represent the number of students who have taken maths. Then we have physics. And then we have chemistry. These are the 3 subjects we have. So when I have drawn the circles in this way, the maths region only you can check. It is divided into so many parts. So all these we can represent by some letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So in this way it will be easy for us to solve. Okay. Now just to check the information. 15 students have taken mathematics. 15 students. Mathematics denotes this circle. So in this circle, total how many students are there? 15. So addition of all these letters should be equal to 15. So we will write the first information. A plus B plus D plus E is equal to 15. Similarly, 12 had taken physics. Physics, the set physics denoted by the letter B, C, E, F. So we will write here B plus C plus E plus F is equal to 12. 11 had taken chemistry. 11 students have taken chemistry. So chemistry, this circle denoted by D plus E plus F plus G is equal to 11. So first information is over. Then what is written? 5 had taken mathematics and chemistry. So mathematics and chemistry both 5 students. So we will check the set here. Mathematics. So this is the set mathematics and then chemistry. Correct? So can you tell me which region denotes the number of students who are the region which is there in both mathematics and chemistry? Yes. What is the common region here? Yes. Correct. This one is the common region we have in both mathematics and chemistry. And that common region is denoted by the letter D and E. So what we have? D plus E is equal to 5. 5 students have taken both mathematics and chemistry. Then next one, 9 had taken mathematics and physics. 9 students have taken. So again we can check the common region, mathematics and physics. So the region which is common to both mathematics and physics, that is B and E. So we will write here B plus E is equal to, what is given? 9. Then next, 4 had taken physics and chemistry. 4 students have taken physics and chemistry. So this is the circle for chemistry and this is for physics. So common is E plus F. So we have E plus F is equal to 4. Then 3 had taken all the 3 subjects. So when we have drawn in this way intersection points, do you have any letter common in both? In all the 3 circles? Any common region is there in all the 3 circles? Which one? Yes, when we have drawn in this way, in this way, in this way also, that only that particular region is common in all the 3 sets. Which region? Yes, that is the region E. So we have E is equal to 3. So these are the informations which we have. So from these information, what we will do, first we will calculate the value of all the alphabets and then we can check the question which is given. So already E is equal to 3 is given. So we can substitute the value of E here. Then we will get the value of F. E plus F is equal to 4. Then what will come? E 3 plus F is equal to 4. So from here F will be equal to 4 minus 3, 1. So here I can write down the value. A, B, C, D, E, F. So we got F is equal to 1. E is equal to 3 already given. Then next one. B plus E is equal to 9. So substitute the value of E here. Then what will come? B plus 3 is equal to 9. Then what will come? B is equal to 9 minus 3, 6. Okay. So we got B is equal to 6. Then D plus E is equal to 5. Then D plus 3 is equal to 5. Then what will come? D is equal to 5 minus 3. So we will get D is equal to 2. Now we want the value of A and C also. So can we substitute all the values here? Then we will get the value of C. A. So first A plus, if you want you can write down this value also. B plus E is equal to 9 or D plus E. D plus E how much we wrote? 5. So it depends on you how you want to solve the question. So suppose A already I wrote. B, value of B we know, that is 6. And in place of D plus E what we can write? 5 is equal to 15 is given. So from here what will come? A is equal to 6 plus 5, 11. So 15 minus 11. So that will be equal to 4. So we got A is equal to 4. Now next we want the value of C. Okay, G also we want here. So G also I am writing here. C. So to calculate the value of C we can use the second information. B plus C plus E plus F is equal to 12. So again just to check anything we can substitute. Yes, E plus F is equal to 4. So in place of E plus F we can substitute 4. And value of B is 6. So 6 plus C plus 4 is equal to 12. So 6 plus 4, 10. So from here we will get C is equal to 12 minus 10, 2. Now we want the value of G also. So the last equation. In the last equation, E plus F is equal to how much? 4. So in place of this we can write 4. D is equal to, we have calculated 2. So 2 plus 4 plus G is equal to 11. 2 plus 4, 6. So G is equal to 11 minus 6. So that will be equal to 5. So we are getting G is equal to 5. So we got the value of all the alphabets. Diagram I am not writing here. Diagram I am not rubbing because from the diagram only it will be clear what are the things we have to calculate. Just refer the diagram, then it will be easy for you. So now the first question. In first question we want the number of students who have taken only chemistry, no other subjects. So just to check the region represented by chemistry. Here, this is the region which represents chemistry. So in this region, can you tell me which letter represent the number of students who have taken only chemistry, no other subjects? Here some students are there who have taken maths. Here some students have taken physics. So which region? Yes, the region G represent the number of students who have taken only chemistry. So directly you can write down the answer here 5. For your reference, if you want, you can just write down here G, so that it will be clear to you that G is that region which denotes the number of students who have taken only chemistry. So just write down the answer. 5 students have taken only chemistry. Okay, in this way you can write down the answer. Now second one. In second one, what is written? Only physics. So now can you tell me which region denotes the number of students who have taken only physics? Yes, only physics will be denoted by the letter C. And what is the value of C? 2. So you can write down the answer 2. Here, if you want, you can write in bracket, that is C. So just write down. 2 students have taken only physics. Written? Okay. Now third one. Only mathematics. Yes. Only mathematics is denoted by the letter A. So just write down 4 students have taken only mathematics. This here, till here it is clear? Okay. Now next, fourth one is physics and chemistry but not mathematics. They should have taken physics and chemistry but not mathematics. So physics and chemistry. Physics and chemistry but not mathematics. So the number of students who have taken physics and chemistry, that is F plus E. But E denotes the number of students who have taken maths also. So we don't want this value. So which is the region represents the number of students taken only physics and chemistry? That is F. So write down the answer. What is the value of F? 1. So you just write down 1 student have taken physics and chemistry only. Then fifth one, mathematics and physics but not chemistry. So maths and physics, the common region is denoted by B plus E. But E is common in all the circles there. So we don't want the value of E. So B is the region which represents the number of students who have taken only maths and physics. And the value of B is 6. So just write down 6 students have taken only mathematics and physics. Then next question is only one of the subject. They should have taken only one of the subject. Only one means how we will calculate? Either they can take maths only, or they can take physics only, or they can take chemistry only. So it will come in this way only. If someone will ask to you, how we will write? We can take that students who have taken maths only, or we can take that student who have taken physics only, or we can take that student who have taken chemistry only. These are the possibilities which we have. So here, maths only. How many students? Which region? A. So maths only represented by the letter A. Or if or sign is there, what we should do? We will write addition or we will write multiplication. Yes, addition. In 10th class we studied when we are solving probability there. Whenever or is there, you have to write addition. So A plus physics only is represented by the letter C. Chemistry only is represented by the letter G. So just add all these numbers. A is equal to 4, C is equal to 2, G is equal to 5. So it will be equal to 4 plus 2 plus 6 plus 5, 11. Clear? Okay. Next one is at least one of the 3 subjects. At least one of the 3 subjects means either they can take maths, or they can take physics, or they can take chemistry, or they can take any one of the subjects, either 2 subjects or 3 subjects, because at least one meaning, at least meaning minimum. So minimum 1 meaning in the examination minimum passing mark is 8. So what does it mean? If you got 8 marks, you are pass or fail? Pass. If you will get 20 marks, then pass only. So in the same way, minimum one subject, meaning they can take more than one subject also. So what we will do? We will add all the regions. So just write down there. At least one of the subjects will be A plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G. Now just substitute all the values. 4 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 5. Check how much it will come. 4 plus 6, 10, 12, 14, 14 plus 3, 17 plus 1, 18, 18 plus 5, 23. So at least one of the subject. 23 students are there out of 25 who have taken at least any one of these subjects. At least I am saying minimum. Okay. Then last question is none of the subjects. So some students will be there who are not interested in physics, maths or chemistry. Out of 25 students, some are there. Those who are not interested in any of the subjects. So that will be represented by which region? They do not belong to this category. Then where they will belong? Yes, they will belong outside this category. So out of 25 students, this region already we said total number of students is 23. So how many students are there? Those who have not taken any of these subjects. What we will do? 25 minus 23. So just write down there. None of the subjects. So that will be equal to 25 minus 23. So 2 students are there. Those who have not taken any of these subjects. So this type of question with the help of Venn diagram will be easy. But if you will go in theoretical way, you have to think a lot to solve all these questions. So better use Venn diagram to solve when 3 sets are there. So I think this question is clear to you. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Next, again in a university, out of 100 students, 15 offered mathematics is there, then statistics and physics. So again we have 3 subjects here. So first only I can draw the Venn diagram. In left side I can draw. So that it will be easy. I will get some space to write on the right hand side also. So we have 3 subjects here. Mathematics, statistics and physics. Mathematics, statistics and physics. So again we can write down the letters here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now check the informations. In a university, out of 100 students, so total number of students 100, 15 offered mathematics only. It's not written 15 offered maths. It is written maths only. So which region is represented by maths only? Yes, A. So already in the question it is given A is equal to 15. Then 12 offered statistics only. 12 offered statistics only is represented by C. So C is equal to 12. Then 8 offered physics only. 8 offered physics only. So that is G. G is equal to 8. Then 40 offered physics and mathematics. 40 students offered physics and mathematics. Mathematics and physics. So common region is D plus E. D plus E is equal to 40 is given. 20 offered physics and statistics. 20 offered physics and statistics. So common region is E plus F. E plus F is equal to 20. 10 offered mathematics and statistics. Mathematics and statistics. So common is B plus E is equal to 10. And then it is given 65 offered physics. Oh, it's not written only physics. 65 offered physics. So those who have offered physics, they can opt for maths and statistics also. So offered physics. Physics is denoted by the letters D plus E plus F plus G is equal to, it is given 65. So these are the information we have. So again, first we can find out all the values and then we can check the question. So already A, C and G is given. So remaining we can calculate. Just to check here, D plus E is equal to how much? 40. D plus E is equal to 40, we can substitute here, plus F we don't know, so F we have to calculate. G, value of G is given here 8, so 65. So from here what will come? F is equal to 65 minus 48. How much will come? 65 minus 48? Yes, 65 minus 48. So that will be equal to, yes, 17. Correct? F is equal to 17. So we got the value F. F is equal to 17. Then if F we have got, we can substitute here. Then we will get the value of E also. E plus F is equal to 20. So E plus 17 is equal to 20. So from here we will get E is equal to 3. So we got E is equal to 3. E is equal to 3. Now which one we have to calculate? Yes, we don't know the value of D. D plus E is equal to 40 and E is equal to 3 already we wrote there. Then what will be the value of D from here? 40 minus 3. So that will be equal to 37. So we are getting D is equal to 37. Now which one is remaining? A we have, B I think we have not got. So here you can check. B plus E is equal to 10. E is equal to 3. So B is equal to 10 minus 3, 7. So we are getting B is equal to 7. So once again check, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So we have got all the alphabets there. Now just to check the question. Find the number of students who offered mathematics. Who offered mathematics. It's not written mathematics only. The number of students who offered mathematics. And mathematics is represented by the letters, yes, A plus B plus D plus E. Now substitute the value. In place of A we have 15 plus B 7 plus D 37 plus E, that is equal to 3. Now it depends on you how you can make your addition easy. These two we can add first. Then 37 plus 3 will be equal to 40. And 15 plus 7. So that will be equal to 22. So 40 plus 22. So we will get here 62. Clear? Okay. Then next question number 2 is offered statistics. Statistics is represented by B plus C plus E plus F. Again substitute the value. We have B is equal to 37. C is equal to 12. E is equal to 3. And F is equal to 17. So how we can do now, just to check. 37 plus 3. That will be equal to again 40. 17 plus 12. So that will be equal to 29. So 40 plus 29 will be equal to 69. Then next, did not offer any of the above 3 subjects. I am not interested in any of these 3 subjects. I want any other subject. Okay. So those who don't want any of these subjects means they are outside this category. Out of 100 students, they do not belong to this category. So they will be here. These students will be represented by this area. So first what we have to do? We have to add all these and after that we can subtract it from 100. So directly shall I write? Just write down there. Number of students who did not offer any of the above 3 subjects is equal to 100 minus, we can add all these, 15 plus 12 plus 8 plus 17 plus 3 plus 37 plus 7. So all of you, this one I am not doing for you. This one you can do by yourself and you just write down the answer. Okay, then just to check your answer. Clear? Okay. So moving on to the next. Now in this question already I have drawn these sets. Here we have 3 sports: football, basketball and cricket. Football, basketball and cricket. So first only I am denoting it by some letters F, G. Now we can check the information. A college awarded 38 medals in football. 38 medals in football is represented by A plus D plus B plus D plus E is equal to 38. 15 in basketball. Basketball is represented by B plus C plus E plus F is equal to 15. 20 in cricket. So we have D plus E plus F plus G is equal to 20. If these medals went to a total of 58 men. So total is given 58. So total I am writing here. A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G is equal to 58. And only 3 men got medal in all the 3 sports. 3 men are there who got medal in all the 3. All the 3 is represented by which region is common in all the 3 sports? E. So here information is given E is equal to 3. So question is, you have to find out how many received medals in exactly 2 of the 3 sports. So first I will explain you what does it mean. Number of students who got medal in exactly 2 sports. So we have to find out that number of persons. So who got medal in exactly 2 sports. So either that can be football and basketball. So I am just writing here football and basketball, one possibility, correct? Or they can get medal in basketball and cricket. Basketball and cricket. Or they can get medal in football and cricket. Football and cricket. So these are the possibilities we have. So here we will check now which region represent only football and basketball. Only football and basketball. The common region which represent only football and basketball. E represent all the 3 sports. So only football and basketball is represented by D. Or means addition. Only basketball and cricket. Only basketball and region. The region which is common to only basketball and cricket is F. So we want the value of F. Then only football and cricket. Only football and cricket is represented by D. So we want the values of B plus F plus T. So these informations are not enough to find out the value of all the alphabets. So which one we require, that only we will calculate. So remember, we want the value of B plus D plus F. So from the given information we can check how we can find out the value. So this one I am rubbing here. So from here, what will be the first equation come? Already E is equal to 3 is given. So I am going to substitute the value of E here. Then what will come? A plus B plus D plus E is equal to 38. So all of you write down, because I will rub here and I will write the information here only. So I substituted E is equal to 3 here. Then 38 minus 3, that will be equal to 35. So I am going to write here directly 35. So A plus B plus D is equal to 35. Similarly, in the second equation also substitute the value. E is equal to 3. Then 3 we shifted to right hand side. Then what will come? 15 minus 3, 12. So we are getting B plus C plus F is equal to 12. Then again in this equation also substitute. Then what will come? D plus F plus G is equal to 20 minus 3. So that will be equal to 17. So D plus F plus G is equal to 17. So these are the information we got. Now we have to find out the value of B, D and F. So what we will do, we'll keep B, D and F separately because that only we have to calculate in this information. B, D and F already we can separate. Just write down here. B plus D plus F plus. How we can rewrite A? From here A can be written as 35 minus B minus D. So A can be written as 35 minus B minus D. B already we wrote here, then don't write it again. Now C, how we can rewrite? C can be written as 12 minus B minus F from the second one. D already written here. Value of E is 3. F already wrote here. Now G. G can be written as 17 minus D minus F is equal to 58 is given. Now just to check what we can do. Yes, 1B and minus B will get cancelled. D and minus D will get cancelled. F and minus F also cancelled. So remaining we can write what are the things we have. Yes, here we have 35 plus 12 minus B plus 3 plus 17 minus D minus F is equal to 58. And already we wrote there, we want the value of B plus D plus F. Here we have minus B minus D minus F. So that we can shift to right hand side. Here the numbers we have 35 plus 12, 17 plus 3. So 35 plus 12, so that will be equal to 47 plus 17 plus 3, 20. 58 I am shifting to left hand side. So it will be equal to minus 58 is equal to B plus D plus F. So 47 plus 20, that will be equal to 67 minus 58 is equal to B plus D plus F. And 67 minus 58, 17 minus 8, 9. So 9 is equal to B plus D plus F. So 9 have received medals in exactly 2 of the 3 sports. Clear? Okay. So moving on to the next question. So in this question, here we have to prove, show that A union B equal to A intersection B implies I am using this symbol, implies A is equal to B. So first check the meaning of this one. What is given here? This information is given. A union B is equal to A intersection B is given. We have to prove A is equal to B. What is A and B here? Sets. So we have to prove 2 sets A and B are equal. We have to prove the sets A and B are equal. So equality of sets, how we are proving? To prove A is equal to B, what we will do? We will prove, just write down, this is for reference only. We have to prove A is a subset of B, and then we will prove B is a subset of A also. To prove 2 sets are equal, what we will prove? One set is a subset of the second one, and second one is a subset of the first one. So this one we have to prove. Now how we will prove A is a subset of B? So for that what we will do? We'll take an element which belongs to A and we will prove that element belongs to B also. Clear? Again I am saying, if you have to prove a set is a subset of the other one, what we will take? We will take an element A which belong to first set, which will take an element A, will take an element which belongs to A, and we will prove that that element belongs to B also. So I am taking here, let X belongs to A. let X belongs to A. What I have to prove? X belongs to B also. Okay. Now just to check here, X belongs to A. Only this information I have. So how I will proceed from this information? So to proceed, they gave this information here. A union B is equal to A intersection B. X is an element which belongs to set A. Now from here, can I say X belongs to A union B also? Because if the element X is there in A, then obviously it will be there in A union B. Because in A union B, we are writing that element which belongs to either A or B or both. A intersection B we cannot say because that element should be common to both A and B. At present we don't know whether it is common or not. But this one is obvious. If the element is there in set A, then obviously that element will be there in A union B. Why I wrote this one? Because this information is given. That's why we have to use this information. Okay. So just I am giving you one example. Suppose in set A I have only one element, 1. And in set B I have two elements, 2 and 3. So when we will write A union B, what will come? All the elements which are there in A and which are there in B. So A union B will be equal to 1, 2, 3. But if I will write A intersection B, what will come? Any element is there which is common in both A and B? No. So that is called no element is there. So that is a null set. No elements are there in A intersection B. So surely we cannot say whether X belongs to A intersection B. But surely we can say if X is there in A, then it will be there in A union B. So by using this I wrote here X belongs to A union B. Now the information which is given. A union B is equal to A intersection B. So in place of A union B, what I can write? A intersection B. So from here, X belongs to A intersection B. What is the meaning of that one? X belongs to which set? A intersection B means the number of the elements which are common to both A and B. Means X belongs to A and X belongs to B also. X is there in A and X is there in B also. What we have taken first? We have taken X belongs to A. And in this step what we are getting? X belongs to B also. We took an element A with X which is there in A. And we got that element X is there in B also. So what we can say? A is a subset of B. Make it equation 1. So from here we proved A is a subset of B. In the same way we have to prove B is a subset of A also. So for that what we will do? We'll take an element which belongs to B and we will prove it belongs to A also. So suppose already X I have taken, so I am taking here any other variable. Y belongs to B. So what you can say surely? Y belongs to A union B or Y belongs to A intersection B? Obviously, Y belongs to A union B. And now use this information which is given. A union B is equal to A intersection B. Y belongs to A intersection B. What does it mean? Y is there in set A also and Y is there in set B also. So from here we can write Y belongs to A and Y belongs to B. So what we have taken? We have taken Y belongs to B. And in this step what we are getting? Y belongs to A also. So every element of B is in A also. Then what we can say? That is the definition of subset. B is a subset of A. This is our second equation. So in the first one we proved A is a subset of B. And in the second one we proved B is a subset of A. So if these two we are getting, then what we can say from these two? Yes, the two sets are equal. A equal to B. So these type of question requires a lot of practice. So some more questions I will give you, and later some more questions are there in your textbook that we will do in our regular classes. Okay, so some more questions we can practice of this type. So now we will do some more questions of that type when we have to prove the two sets are equal. So again I am saying this type of question requires lot of practice. By practice only these concepts will be clear. So I am giving you what you have to do the question along with the classwork, and again try to do it by yourself. Check you are getting the exact method or not. And so many questions are there that we will do when we will do the revision in regular classes. Okay, so all of you write down. The next one is, let A, B and C be the sets such that A union B is equal to A union C. A, B and C be the sets such that this information is given. A union B is equal to A union C, and A intersection B is equal to A intersection C. These two informations are available with us. We have to show that B is equal to C. We have to prove set B is equal to set C. So once again, what we will prove? We will prove B is a subset of C, and then we will prove C is a subset of B also. So to prove B is a subset of C, what we will do? We will take an element which belongs to B, and then we will prove that element belongs to C also. In the same case we will do with this type also. Okay, so now I am taking an element X which belongs to B. We'll all use all these informations also which is given. Okay, just always whenever you have to prove something, check the information which are available with us. So I have taken an element X which belongs to B. So confirmly what we will say? Whether it belongs to A union B or it will belong to A intersection B. Confirm. Yes, confirm we can say it will belong to A union B. So next step what we can write? If X belongs to B, then we can say X belongs to A union B. This is obvious. Correct? Okay. So now just use the information. A union B is equal to A union C. So we can write here X belongs to A union C. What we have to prove? Remember that also. We have to prove X belongs to C. At present we got here in this way. X belongs to A union C. So from here we cannot surely say whether X belongs to A or X belongs to C. Either X can be there in A or X can be there in C. Definitely we have to prove definitely X belongs to C. So from here what we are getting? X can be there in A or X can be there in C. Two cases are possible. So this case, if X belongs to C, then our proof is over. We have taken X belongs to B and we are getting here X belongs to C. So from here we can say B is a subset of C if X belongs to C. That is not possible. This is one case only. So suppose X belongs to A. This is the case which we have. So from here how we can say X belongs to C also, that we can check. So now we have taken if X belongs to A. Already what we have taken here? X belongs to B, and now we are supposing X belongs to A. So the element X is there in B and the element X is there in A, meaning that element X is there in both A and B. So what we can say? Yes, definitely we can say X belongs to A intersection B. X belongs to A intersection B. Now use this information. A intersection B is equal to A intersection C. So from here we can write X belongs to A intersection C. X is there in A and X is there in C also. So here we are getting X belongs to A and X belongs to C. So again here what we are getting? We have taken x belongs to B, and again here we are getting x belongs to C. So in this case also we are getting B is a subset of C. So if you will take x belongs to A, then also x belongs to C, or directly if x belongs to C, then our proof is over here only. So at present we got B is a subset of C. This part over. Now in the same way what we will do, we will prove C is a subset of B also. So shall I start? Okay. So already x we have taken, so now we can take another one. Y. Write down y belongs to C. Remember we have to prove y belongs to B also. So if y belongs to C, can I say y belongs to A union C? It will be there in the union. Okay. So y belongs to A union C. What does it mean? Y can be there in A or y can be there in C. So now first we have to, because we want B here. So move to this information. A union C is equal to A union B. So we will write here y belongs to A union B. So from here two cases are possible. Either y belongs to A or y can be there in B. We cannot surely say whether y belongs to B or not. These are the two possibilities which we have. If y belongs to B, then our proof is over. We have taken y belongs to C and we are getting y belongs to B. So from here we can say C is a subset of B. But this is possible. We cannot say whether it is right or not. So we can take this condition also. If y belongs to A, then how we will prove y belongs to B also. So what we have here, y belongs to C, and we wrote here y belongs to A. So the element y is there in C and the element y is there in A also. So it will be there in their intersection. Yes, so we can write y belongs to A intersection C. And now use the information. A intersection C is equal to A intersection B. So we can write y belongs to A intersection B. Y is there in A and y is there in B also. So we can write in this way. Y belongs to A and y belongs to B. So in this case also we started with y belongs to C and we are getting y belongs to B. Every element of C is in B. That is the definition of subset. So from here also we are getting C is a subset of B. So in both the cases we are getting B is a subset of C and C is a subset of B. So from these two what we can say? Yes, we can say set B equal to set C. Again, these questions requires a lot of practice. Try to do it by yourself. Then these concepts will be clear to you. So moving on to the next question. Next question is it true for any sets A and B? Sets I am saying, so write capital letters only. Is it true for any sets A and B, P of A union P of B is equal to P of A union B? I wrote here P of A. What is P of A? Not probability, What is P of A here in sets? P of A is, yes, P of A is power set of A. And power set of A, what it was? Collection of all subsets of A. Collection of all subsets of A is called the power set of A. So each element of the power set itself denotes a set. Okay. Now here in the question, we don't have to prove anything. We have to check. Is it true for any sets A and B, power set of A union power set of B equal to power set of A union B? If you have to check something, then what you can do, you can take some example. If you have to prove something, then you have to take X and Y only. No other options for there. But when you have to check something, you can give one example. So here also we can take one example. So suppose set A I am writing, for our convenience only I am taking a single element only in set A, and set B suppose I have taken two elements, 2 and 3, or a different element. If you want, you can take different element, 3 and 4. So first we can check what will be A union B. Yes, A union B will be equal to 2, 3, 4. Now we will check whether these two are equal or not. So first what we have to write, we have to write power set of A. Power set of A means we have to write all the subsets of A. A which type of set? Only one element is there, and that is called singleton set. Correct? Okay. This is just for revision. Set A has only one element. So whenever we are writing the subsets of any set, which is common, always we have to write in all. Yes, first is the null set. Null set is the subset of all the sets. Null set means it is an empty set. Then set 2 alone. Only these two are possible. So power set of A contains only two elements, 5 and 2. Then we will write the power set of B. So B is having two elements. So again, whenever you are writing the subsets, first 5 will come. Then we can write the single element 3 is a subset of B. Single element 4 is a subset of B. And the set B also, 3, 4. This all already we studied how to write down the subsets of any set. So these are the sets we have. Power set of A and power set of B we wrote there. Now what we have to write? Power set of A union power set of B. The element which are there in power set of A and the element which are there in power set of B. So we can write the elements 5. 5 we don't have to write 2 times, 1 time only enough. Then we have set 2, set 3, set 4 and set 3, 4. So power set of A union power set of B represented by this set. Now we will check whether it is equal to power set of A union B. A union B already we wrote here. So power set of A union B. So again it is a collection of all subsets of A union B. So first one 5 will come. Then single set 2. Then set 3. Then set 4. Then another possibility 2, 3. 2, 3. Then what can be? 3, 4. Then what can be? 2, 4. Then any other possibility? Yes, the whole set. 2, 3, 4. So this will be the collection of all subsets of A union B. So just to check whether these two are equal. Obviously not equal because the numbers only are not same. If two sets are equal means at least they should be equal in numbers. So from here we can say power set of A union power set of B not equal to power set of A union B. So whenever you have to check whether it is equal or not, you can give some examples. So this one is clear? Okay, so we'll move to the last question. In this question, it is given, let A and B be sets if A intersection X equal to B intersection X equal to 5 and A union X equal to B union X for some set X where X is also a set. We have to prove A equal to B. Again, we have to prove set A equal to set B. So to prove it, what we will prove? Yes, we will prove A is a subset of B and then we will prove B is a subset of A using the condition which is given. You have to use this information. So first information, first we can check the meaning. A intersection X is equal to 5. What does it mean? 5 means it is an empty set or null set. So A intersection X is equal to 5 meaning there is no element which is common in A and X. In the same way, there is no element which is common in B and X. This information is given and then one more information they gave. So again, first we can take, let an element x belongs to A. So if x belongs to A, then obviously we can say x belongs to A union x, because x is given here. X belongs to A union x. We have to use this information. That's why I have taken A union x. And if x belongs to A union x, then what we can say? It belongs to B union x also. So from here, possibilities are there. Either x belongs to A or x belongs to x. So out of these two, which one is true? X belongs to B is true or x belongs to x is true? X belongs to B is true. Why? We have taken x belongs to A, and already it is given A intersection x is equal to 5. Means there is no element common to A and x. So if x is there in A, from this information we can say obviously x will not be there in x. So this one you can write, it is not possible. Not possible. Why? Because A intersection x is equal to 5. So this condition is not possible. Then what is the possibility? X belongs to B. So from here we can say x belongs to B. So we have taken an element x belongs to A and we proved it belongs to B. So we can say A is a subset of B. Make it equation 1. So we got A is a subset of B. In the same way, now we will prove B is a subset of A. So again write down an element y belongs to B. Can you write what will be the next step? Yes, it will be y belongs to B union x. And B union x can be written as y belongs to A union x. Why I wrote? Because this information is there. A union x equal to B union x. Two sets are equal. Now from here again two possibilities will be there. Y belongs to A or y belongs to x. So which condition is not possible? Yes, this condition is not possible. Why not possible? Because we have taken y belongs to B. And already it is given B intersection f is equal to x is equal to 5. There is no element which is common in B and x. So this condition is not possible. So only this is the possibility. Y belongs to A. So again we can say B is a subset of A. Make it 2. So from 1 and 2, what we can say? Yes, we can say the set A equal to set B. Written? Okay. So all of you just to practice this question only. Remaining some more questions are there in your textbook that we will do in our regular classes. So all of you note down your homework now. Your homework will be miscellaneous exercise chapter 1. From chapter 1 you have to do miscellaneous exercise. Miscellaneous exercise question number 1, 2. Question number 1, 2. Then question number 10. Try to do question number 10. And if any doubt is there, you can send me the solution through WhatsApp. And then question number 12 to 16. From question number 12 to question number 16. Just to try to do these questions. Always follow the work. Regularly do your work. Then only concepts will be more clear to you. Thank you.